Caius, with a C, is not a Latin name. What am I talking about? Stay tuned. I'm Luke, and this is polýMATHY. This error came to my attention when I learned that there are Italian men by the name of Gaius, with the letter C. And then after that, I saw references to Gaius Julius Caesar, Gaius Julius Caesar in classical Latin pronunciation, written with a C, Caius, or even Italianized as Gaio Giulio Cesare in Italian books. And I was like, what is going on here? And I found out that this is just a terrible, terrible mistake. Indeed, Julius Caesar's praenomen is Gaius. It has 3 syllables also. It's not Gaius, but Gaius. Long A, and then short E, then short Us. Gaius. Etymologically, it's related to the Latin word gaudium, or gaudere, meaning to rejoice. So why would Italians make this mistake and create the name Caio with the letter C? Well, the reason is certainly in part because the Latin abbreviation for Gaius is just a letter C and a period, just as the Latin name Lucius is L with a period, and that's all you need. Why would this be abbreviated with a C? This is abbreviated with a C because Latin didn't used to have a G, not until the 3rd century BC. A grammarian by the name of Ruga, he probably got tired of people mispronouncing his name because it was spelled R-U-C-A, like this, Ruga, and it looks like it's Ruka, but it would have been Ruga. And he would have had to correct people. And probably exhausted of constantly correcting people, he decided to invent a little thingy on the letter C to create the letter G. And then to tell everyone, hey, this is how this is pronounced. This is Ruga and not Ruka. And thus the letter G was born, eliminating a rather annoying confusion. Lots of languages have these confusions, though. English and French, for example, when we have an S between vowels, it often will sound like a Z, like Rose or Suzanne. Italian words also contain the letter Z, and this letter Z, the zeta, it can be voiced z or it can be unvoiced ts. And whether it's ts or z has nothing to do with if it's singular or double. In fact, this letter is always geminated or doubled in sound, no matter if you write it with 1 or 2 letter Z's. And the position in the word doesn't matter either. You just have to know, because of etymological or traditional reasons, if it's supposed to be zio or zanzara. And that, along with the abbreviation as a letter C, which always was a voiced G sound, as in Gaius, but they just use the C traditionally all the way to the present day. We, of course, still write and speak Latin to this day. These must be the reasons why this hypercorrection of Gaius into Caius and then this Italian name Caio were innovated. I've been able to trace it back as far as the Renaissance. It might be an earlier hypercorrection, but if we're referring to any ancient Roman in antiquity, Caio is not an acceptable Italianization. It must be Gaio in Italian. Also, if it's Latin, it must be Gaius and not Caius, because that latter version is just not an ancient Latin name or a present Latin name. It simply doesn't exist except as a hypercorrection, that is, as a mistake. When it comes to actual Italians who have been named Caio based on that hypercorrection mistake, well, obviously their names aren't wrong because those are their names, and individuals' names are simply that. Unfortunately, the hypercorrection separates them from the link to antiquity that their parents might have intended, but it's still a name. I think it's a cool sounding name. Quindi se sei italiano, hai il nome Caio, va bene, un bel nome, però non è latino. If you want to learn more about how the letters got into the alphabet, watch this series with Jackson Crawford and Luke Gorton. These are fantastic videos, and I really highly recommend them. Also, speaking of Gaius Julius Caesar, I have just published a new audiobook, an abridged version of Book 5 of Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars. It's on my audiobook store. You can find it at lukeranieri.com. Thanks so much for watching and enjoying the frigid Pennsylvania winter weather with me. See you next time. Valete. I'm falling because it's muddy. Oh my god. I'm on a slope here. I'm on a slope. This seemed like a better idea when I was over at the canal bridge. I made a video in Latin months ago, almost a year ago, where I was just walking in and talking in Latin. I thought I should just come. I'd get a much better view over here because look at the lovely river. I thought, and you see all the twinkling lights of the cars driving on the road here. Isn't that pretty? These are the. I'll have to talk more about these in a geological video at some point. But I'm right on a muddy bank, which goes right into the river. So I hope that I survive to finish making this video and that I don't fall in while I finish up here. So, oh, you want to take a look? Yeah, you want to take a look? Yeah. Ooh, don't fall.